Hey team, welcome back to HG Designs Crochet, HGDC. I'm Heather and I have this thing for granny squares and pink and leopard print. I'm pretty certain that I'm autistic and here I am learning, healing and oversharing my way through adult diagnosis and parenting and running a creative business, changing my world one granny square at a time. I now have a legit intro thanks to a really heartfelt Instagram post that I wrote last week. So I am now a legit YouTuber by anyone's standard. To bring anybody up to speed after last week's video, thank you so much for your kind comments and spending some time crocheting with me. Brad is feeling much better, Teddy is feeling much better. It's not looking good for the car. I suspect that we will be scrapping it and looking for a new one. I also mentioned that a family member was on palliative care, my cousin, and she passed away last week. Yeah, with the car issues and everything, by the time I arranged for Brad to get home and transport to get there, when I entered the room that she was in, she was gone. I'd missed by like 10 minutes. And obviously, understandably, everyone in there was just devastated. And yeah, it was a lot to walk into. And obviously, it's not my story to share. And you know me, I'm pretty strict on privacy when it comes to my family. All I'm really going to say is that she was only 39. And the funeral has been set for about 2.5 weeks from now. And the theme is to wear something purple. So we have a bag to design. I was speaking to her daughter yesterday and she said that she's going to wear that sort of traditional black outfit but with purple accessories, and that kind of set my mind because I have been saying to Brad I'm thinking of making maybe a jumper or a bag. If I make a bag, it's a bit smaller, I've got a little bit more with the time frame that we've got and everything, it should be okay. Brad's just very much like, don't overload yourself, but I think it's doable. So I'm going to go through a few of the design ideas that I've got in mind and see which one you think I should go with, and show you the purple yarn that I already have in my stash. Like the only parameters are that it needs to be purple, it needs to use what I already have, and I need it done in the next, I don't know, 16 or so days. Yeah, 16 days. I just want to make a bag that I feel proud of and that I know that if she saw it, she'd be like, that's cute. So I have ideas in my mind. I really want it to incorporate a heart, and I have this heart block that I made quite a while back. When we were at her bedside, they put purple crocheted hearts around her and you could take one. So yeah, the hearts have come from there. And again, if you've been around here for any length of time, you'll know that hearts feature quite heavily in quite a few of my designs as well. So I've made these ones as like little blocks, little samples, and I've just been on my sample notice board for quite some time waiting to be used. This is the purple heart, one of the purple hearts that was with her on that day. So yeah, my thoughts are, and I'll share some images that I've been looking at. I could potentially, so let me show you this bag. So this bag is vinyl and it has the black like border and the black heart in the center. My bag's going to be 100% crochet, but I really like the size of it and I like how the heart is in the middle. So I wasn't sure whether to crochet a bag sort of that size, that shape, that size and shape, and then this would either be in the center or I could put this in the center. It looks like it would be relatively simple to do in terms of shape, and I could do the strap entirely purple as well. I don't really go for purple, so making this bag, it's not likely that I will use it again, but that's okay. Like, I also really like this bag. So the person in the image is wearing bright pink, and then they have a pink heart shaped bag, and I was thinking I'd obviously be wearing black, but the heart shape is really cute, and so I can see me wearing this with future outfits as well, which might be a nice way to, like, you know, on a day that maybe I'm missing her a bit more, or the feelings are quite strong, maybe I could then incorporate this bag into my outfit. And I really like the heart shape, but I do not know how I am making this bag heart shaped. Like, I'm not sure, and then that's what puts me off going with this shape, because the construction might be a little bit too much to, like, pull together in the time frame that I've got. I may be setting myself up for a bit of stress, but if I did pull that off, that would look really cute, and it is my favourite out of all of them. And then my other option was, rather than doing it heart shaped, that I would just have the one block but with a little bit underneath, because it doesn't look like it's sitting in the centre. It's not sitting in the centre. And then just having the bag this size, and then having like the, but I think it needs to be the heart shape. And then again, am I going granny square or not? I feel like maybe trying to do it granny square could be quite tricky. In terms of making it 3D, it potentially could hold its own shape. So on a few of my designs I use mesh, and on a few of my, and then on a couple of others I haven't used any mesh. So let me show you where my thoughts are leading me. This one is semi-complete. It's the smaller size of my comfort sleeve or pouch, whatever it's going to be called, and it's granny squares, and then the inside is this chunky scrap effect. That then means it has a lining, and you're less likely to lose your items through the granny squares. That pretty much holds its own shape. So I was thinking, can I create the heart shape out of granny squares and then make it 3D by having a front, the sides, the back, and then lining it with this so that it holds its own shape. And I've also made this in a much bigger size here, and it has the zip. Or I can use some of the plastic mesh that I put inside of some of my bag designs so that it isn't as fluid, and it will have a much more rigid shape, such as this one. And this is the teeny size of my frilly pouch, and again it just needs a zip installing. And on this one it's granny squares, but then the inside I have the mesh encased in granny square, and then that creates a, like, it is a really cute shape. So I could potentially have the mesh on front, back and sides so that it really, like, it constantly holds the shape. So in comparison you can see that, like, that one's quite fluid and that one just holds its shape. It's not as bendable. Let me hold the bigger one up so you can see. Can you see what I mean? Yeah. So that's my thought process with the heart. I am leaning towards that one. It's the one that scares me the most though. This one is a picture of a backpack that I found, and it's just a heart but on a much bigger scale. And I do have so the heart that I made for my heartstring blanket uses 3 round granny squares, and I made the same one but with 2 round granny squares, and I thought, okay, that could be the bag size. I don't know if I can find that one though. Please excuse the ends. This is in my scrap yarn. It was never intended to be shown, but this is a 2-round heart that I made. So my thinking was, what if I make that into the backpack of a bag? Again, I don't really know that I want to be wearing a backpack, but I do think it's a cute shape. I would have to line it in some way, obviously, to stop it from being completely useless as a bag. The bigger it is, the more work it is. And then I was thinking, what if I made this out of 4-ply, because it would be much smaller, and I do have quite a lot of cotton, so maybe that's an option. Yeah. And then I was thinking that would just be so cute if I could make that a bit smaller, but have it in the second image where she's got the pink bag. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, bless me. Yeah. The other design idea that I have is to do something scrappy like this Miu Miu bag. I really like the size and the shape and the cute small handle. And I was thinking, what if I did that and then I just fixed the heart, this heart onto it? And potentially I could make it more of a memorial piece by also putting her name, because I can crochet. I can use the crochet alphabet and put her name on there. Which might be quite nice, because then there's a photo in mind that I'd like to put up in my dressing, it's not a dressing room, in our walk-in closet that we use as a little like dressing room. And so I could have the photo next to the bag on a shelf, which would be quite nice. Do something that size with this attached onto it. I was thinking, like, this is really cute, really small. I could basically make this into a patch to go on the bag, so I could line the back of it and then pop it on, or it could be a pocket. So that's the other idea. Another idea that I'm playing around with is this one where she has the pink bag. It looks like it's holding yarn double or triple. It's like this effect. But it's for the whole bag, and I was thinking I could do that with my purple yarns, and then I could put the heart on it. I would put the heart down here like that, because it's like chunky or super chunky yarn. It would work up really quickly. That has the potential to be a sub squad bag, because I have promised that I'm going to do some non-granny square bags. So I am liking the thought of that one. And also I would quite like to make some matching accessories of some sort to go with it. So maybe I could make like a scrunchie or something using that. To go back to this one, I feel like that would look really cute on a jumper. And especially if I put the heart on the back, and again I could put her name. I feel like that'd be a really nice touch. I just don't know that I have enough time to put together an entire jumper in 2.5 weeks. I could model it off my revival jumper, so I know like the sizing and all of that. Yeah. I could potentially put a couple of these blocks together to make the bag bigger. I've got this panel here that I made quite some time ago. So I could potentially just have, let's fold it up. I could do it like that, and that's like a pretty decent size, and that is in line with the size of my Takeover bag. So I could just have, heart pains. I could have hearts. I could have side-by-side hearts there and on that side. And again, then I could pick like 4 different purple colours, from lilac up to the deeper purple. And I already know how long it takes me to make this bag, and I have everything in my stash to make it. So at this point, I don't know whether to completely reinvent the wheel and make a completely new bag design, or whether to modify something that I've got. And then my thoughts were that if I modify it, if I make it like that, I could also make the jumper. I don't know that I have enough time to do that, but I could certainly try making a jumper to match. I don't need to be wearing a lot of crochet. I just really like the look of when you have the matching jumper and bag. Do I really need that extra pressure right now? No. So I could revisit the jumper idea later in the future. And then I really like on this bag, it's the chunky yarn again. It's predominantly like pinks and reds with a little bit of black, so I could make it predominantly purple. And then it has the like a ring for the hand, for where the handle's clipped on, and then it has a chain, and I really like that. It's simple, it will save time because I won't have the handle to make. And again, it looks like it's chunky or super chunky, so it should work up really fast. I also really like this design. It looks like it is Chanel. Yeah, it's a Chanel bag. It looks like that scrap crochet effect. It looks like the scrap yarn. It's quite small, very neat. I could use my iconic pattern and do that. And then on this handle, you can see it's like a chain with green, and I could potentially just put purple through it to make it the more dominant colour. And then again, where the clasp is, instead of the Chanel logo, I could put the purple heart. Where have I put it? No. I could put the purple heart where the clasp is, and then that would draw attention to that. So what do I do? Let's run back through all of the options, and then I will get you to vote. Any of these that aren't made into like my memorial bag could become future sub squad bags. Like, they're all great ideas. So option 1 is to have a heart in the middle and have it quite boxy and very simplistic, and I can either go with this heart in the middle or this heart in the middle. I would make the dominant colour purple and the rest of it would be neutrals, so maybe cream like this, and then the dominant colour would be all the different purples that I have. The next option is to have the heart shaped bag, so I'm thinking little bag. I either go with this with a little chain on it and it would just be like this size, or I go with the actual heart shape, and then I could do granny squares or non-granny squares. And then the third option is to go with the bigger sized heart and make that into a potentially a backpack type thing, with the potential to have a future matching jumper. Option 4 is to go with the chunky or super chunky bag, very simple, all purple yarns held together, and then fix the little heart in the bottom corner so it would sit here on the bag. And then option 5 is to have the scrap yarn bag, so in effect it would be this. Have a scrap bag like this effect with a small handle, and then I can put the heart there, and I can put her name, or I can put this one and her name, or I could put to the moon, because our saying was love you to the moon and back, and we have a tattoo that signifies that. Or option 6 is to go with Revive Iconic. I'm going to grab Iconic for the scrap one that I've just talked about, this one, the Miu Miu version, I could potentially make it this shape, which is my glimmer bag, and then it has this cute little chain handle, and it's like a quite a small size, but it's plenty big enough to get everything in that I'm gonna want on the day. So I could, rather than having the fuzzy glitter, I could have the Miu Miu scrap, and then it would have and then I would put the heart on it, which that is really super cute. Or option 6, I think I'm on option 6, is to use the pattern for my iconic crochet bag that I have here. I have it in black and I also have it in pink. My iconic bag pattern, I could modify this to look like the Chanel pattern. I wouldn't have this row, I would just have maybe that square there and get rid of those to have the similar size, and then I could put that on there, and again I would make it completely scrap. Or option 7 is to use my Takeover bag pattern but make it hearts instead. 7 options. I really need your help. I feel like trying to reinvent the wheel right now is probably not a good idea, and using an existing bag as like the base and then personalizing it would make more sense. I am leaning towards the Chanel or the Miu Miu, or the one with the black heart, which I'm leaning towards this sort of shape, and then having the heart and details on it. I just feel like it's cute, but yeah. And then in terms of purple yarns, I have all of these purples. I thought I would just show you. I've got standard purple, I've got a glitter lilac, I have a very pale lilac, and then I have lilac. I have this one, which is more towards the fuchsia end of the scale. This is purple jewel. This is purple jewel from Yarn Smiths. It's on the tip of my tongue. I've got this random colour and I have this random colour. So I have plenty of purple there, and I will probably mix it with a neutral, like a off-white cream that I usually use. So I'm going to try and put little pictures up of all my ideas, and then if you could vote below and let me know. I want to get started on this as soon as possible. Potentially, in terms of the jumper, I think I would have time if it wasn't for the sleeves. Sleeves seem to just take me ages, but actually putting together the granny square itself doesn't take long, and I'm thinking that this style heart on the back of a jumper would just look so cute. And I'll do it in purple, and then I think I would put To the Moon on it, which then means that I can wear it on different occasions and it have a sentimental meaning. And also I don't particularly want to be sharing her name with you all, because I am so militant about our privacy. So then if I put her name on it, I'm not going to be able to show you the finished item. Yeah, so I'm really liking the idea of making the jumper. All being well, the next couple of weeks I'm going to focus on getting this bag finished, and then after that I need to go straight into prep for my August collection. I'm going to get the photo shoot booked and try and get a load of these patterns professionally photographed and everything written up and ready to release in August. We're heading into April, May, June, July, August. It gives me 4 months to get that all together. And also in that time, I really want to knuckle down and get the next 3 or 4 bag patterns done as well, so that I am truly ahead for the sub squad. As I want to be able to bank as many patterns as possible for that. So join me in making this memorial bag, and then we're going to go into collection prep. Thank you so much for being here and watching this, and thank you for commenting and letting me know which one I need to go with. And I will be back next week with an update. In the meantime, if you want to see anything, I'm on Instagram and I'll share that below. I now need to go because the baby's home. Take care. Bye.